Hey y'all, IrixGuy here, and I'm always looking to try something a little bit different when it comes to drone videos. Now, as you can tell, my first flight, typically I'm out in the field, and I've got, I got grass, I got trees, I got sunlight, but I want to mix it up a little bit, and I wanted to, because of the, the nature of this drone, the DJI Spark, very small, very lightweight. What I wanted to do is do something a little bit different. Now, obviously, you can tell I've got the prop guard zone. I am indoors. There's nobody else around. There's no animals, so it's a safe flying environment. But I wanted to do something different. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do my first flight. Now, I will be having the first outdoor flight, so don't worry about that. Stay tuned to IrixGuy.com, epicdroneshow.com. You'll see it all there. But what I want to do with this is step you through the first flight of the DJI Spark. I mean, this thing is, I'm stoked. I really am. So the first cool thing is that the battery charger can charge up to 3 batteries at a time. Obviously, the combo I got 2 batteries. I got one that was attached to the drone, and then there was an extra one in there. But the little carrying case, the little styrofoam thing that goes inside of the bag, that thing can accommodate a total of 3 batteries. So one on each side, and then one attached to the drone. So I may buy another battery. But I just popped this off. This battery is fully charged, and I'm going to pop it on the DJI Spark. What I like about this, listen to this. It makes an audible snap, and you can also feel it so it's tactile. If you've dealt with other smaller drones in the past, you may have found that the battery attachment was one of the biggest pain points, in addition to many. But look at this right here. Look at the little camera on the front. And I'm looking at my viewfinder because I don't have a viewfinder on my camera. But it is a 2-axis gimbal, but look at that little camera there. And what we're going to do in this video, I'm going to alternate between the 2 cameras. I'm going to alternate between this camera right here that I'm speaking face on video to, and then also this camera. Now, this is 1080p HD. The camera that you're watching me face on video is 4K Ultra HD. So when I publish this video, it will be in 4K, but the actual video that was filmed by the Spark is 1080p. It is not 4K. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Spark video matches up with the 4K video in a video project. And that's something I wanted to test because, there's obvious advantages and disadvantages to a smaller and more lightweight drone. The disadvantage in this scenario is that it does not have 4K. But will 1080p be sufficient? How good does that look? Does it look good enough to blend in with a 4K video project like you're watching right here? This face on video portion is in 4K Ultra HD. Does this make the overall video look junky? Or is it good enough to where one could say, well, I watched that video in 4K Ultra HD and the drone footage was cool. Does the drone footage in 1080p totally take away from the production quality of the video? That's one of my primary questions, and I can't answer that yet because this is my first flight and I'm going to fly indoors. So without further ado, let's get airborne. I'm going to put this on my table here, and I'm going to power it on. And if you're familiar with DJI products, it's very, very similar. You can hear it doing its thing. I'm going to face it towards the camera that's filming. And then I'm going to use the controller. So I'm not going to use... one thing with the DJI Spark, if you don't get the bundle that I got, and check the link within this video's description because you can find all the bundles and the colors. I got the red. This comes in green. I think it's green, blue, white, yellow, a bunch of colors. But if you get the bundle that I got, you can get the controller as well. But if you don't get that, you may not get a controller. You may be controlling it with your smartphone or your tablet. So let's go ahead and obviously I've updated all the firmware, so everything is up to date. And yeah, everything is up to date. and I'm going into, and it's worth mentioning if you're not already familiar with this, the DJI Spark requires a new version of the DJI Go app. So it's quite possible that you may need to go to the App Store and download that. Something else I want to mention is that when you pair, when I'm looking in my Wi-Fi settings under iOS General Wi-Fi settings, I'm actually seeing the Spark controller and not the Spark. So I'm going to pair right now with the Wi-Fi with the Spark controller. This controller right here looks like a video game joystick. So once I've done that, my next step is to go into the DJI Go. Now it's not DJI Go. On my iOS device at this point in time, it says DJI Go 4. So I'm going to go to DJI Go 4, and now I'm in there. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hit record. Obviously, as I mentioned previously, I do not have 4K. This is at least the original model of DJI Spark tops out at 1080p. So let's see how it looks. I'm going to hit record video. Video is recording. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Something I always like to test is the fluctuation. Look at that hover. Look at how still that hover is. I do have obstacle avoidance turned off. That's why it's not chirping in front of the camera. Okay, now what I want to do, and I'll switch to the drone camera for the bulk of this, I'm going to go on an obstacle course. So let's see how maneuverable this thing is. Set an optional course with high quality Caribbean rum. Check this out. I mean, I am stoked with the precision here. Now there is something you notice when I try to go to a certain altitude, it starts to land because there's probably a setting I need to explore that later. But in this scenario, I'm trying to fly at a very low altitude among rum bottles. Okay, we're going to gimbal down so we can see what's going on here. Curiously enough, that was another thing I noticed with the current model DJI Go app, current version rather, is that there doesn't seem to be, at least I haven't found it yet, a gimbal wheel speed adjustment. If you watch all my Phantom videos in my Mavic Pro, you know one of the first things I do is adjust the gimbal wheel speed so that it's slow and more cinematic, slower and more cinematic. And I haven't found that setting in the DJI Go Out 4 yet. So, if you know where it is, tell me. So let's see how we can maneuver here. I mean, this thing is fun. It's cool. I wish I had 4K, but let's see what the video looks like. I'll convert it. is turned off, as I mentioned previously. But at least in the FPV view, it looks pretty stable for not having a 3-axis gimbal. See that, where I just did the gimbal like that, that's where I need to really be able to adjust the gimbal wheel speed, so I gotta figure that out. Because I like that slow and cinematic look. This thing is fast though. I mean, it's, you know, flying this indoors is definitely something quite interesting. Actually, I just discovered with the gimbal wheel on the top right of the controller, I was actually able to make it somewhat slow and somewhat cinematic by just barely pushing it. See now that's the trick. So it may be a tactile improvement, and maybe that's why they seem to have eliminated the gimbal wheel speed setting within the app. I'm at 51% battery life. I was 100% when I started. I've been recording for 5 minutes and 57 seconds. So, you know, and that's interesting because I haven't been doing any abrupt maneuvers. I mean, I'm flying indoors. So, battery life on this, that's one of my biggest questions, you know, with this smaller and more lightweight package. I will get y'all some very exciting videos. This is just a unique way to test this new platform. Look at that. See if I can snap a still photo while I'm filming continuous video. I just pushed it. We'll check later and see if that snapped, because that's been a question a lot of people have had with other drones. Can you snap a still photo while you're filming continuous video? So we'll see what happens. So we're going to go through these bottles of rum again. Let's see. This thing is extremely precise. It's just a testament to DJI's continued evolution when it comes to drones. I mean, this is indoors. Obviously, I'm not getting GPS. If I am, it's very minimal. So this is really impressive. So let's bring it back up. Let's land it. I'm at 33% battery life. I've been recording for 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Let's bring it up to the table here. I'm going to go to the other side here so we can get a good view here. Is in the upwardmost position. It's worth mentioning, so let's get it about head high here. And what's amazing is indoors, this thing seems to be very level. Look at the door. That's a good point of reference. 24% battery life. Let's go ahead and land it. this is. You think I can land it on top of this box? Well, almost perfect. So 9 minutes and 56 seconds. I have 15% battery life remaining. That is pretty cool. I just stopped recording on the drone. Checking the propellers, everything looks good. And this is just a word of wisdom here. When you look at the propellers, they've got like some writing close to the tips. And when I first saw that, I thought, oh man, I bumped my propeller into something and it nicked it. But actually, it didn't. That's just writing on the propellers. So, you know, something to be aware of. If you look at it very quickly, that could create a little bit of confusion. But yeah, I mean, this thing is, I mean, I don't know, y'all tell me. Watch this video again. This video will appear as if it's 4K Ultra HD, but this footage was 1080p, so I'm not trying to one up anybody and say, man, this is 4K. No, the video is 4K, the video face-on video, but when you're seeing the footage from the DJI Spark, that was in 1080p, but I imported the 1080p footage into a 4K Ultra HD project. So tell me what you think. Share this video with others. Be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/IrixGuy. This is just my first flight. It's indoors. I know it's kind of corny. Maybe you like it. I don't know. But I'm going to get out in the field. I'm going to take this thing out to the oceans of the world, and we're going to see what we get. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. youtube.com/IrixGuy. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.